Hello everyone, and welcome to the Brickformula review of LEGO set 7498 Police Station. It has 783 pieces for ages 6 to 12, and it's from the City series, and this set retails for $99.99. And before I continue, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Devin Pooh, 11 LEGO fan, Thor Rules, I'm Turbocharged, CP Rules 234, Lego People 11, and Ven Lee Wall. They are the subscribers who had requested that I review this set, so everyone check out their channels. Man, that was a lot. But anyway, here in the front we see the front cover, of course, and there's a lot of strange things going on over here, especially this guy over here. You would think that if you steal something, you would not walk past the police station. There's just no excuse for it. But I'm willing to let that go. But that was until I saw how many signs there are over here. We have a police sign over there, one there, there's one right over there, here, and here. So if you don't know that this is the police station, then you deserve to be in jail. But that's how the story goes. And here on the side, we have the minifigures. More on that later. And here in the back, we see a lot of playable features. And I'll definitely talk about all of them coming up. Here are the minifigures, and as you can see, we have 4 cops, 2 robbers, and a dog. And first up is the lady police officer. And she's pretty cute looking. She reminds me of Nia from the Ninjago sets, except that she doesn't have the makeup around the eyes. And there's her uniform. She has a really big badge over there. But don't tell her that, or else she'll know that you're looking at her chest, and you'll get into some trouble that you don't want. And she comes with a flashlight, even though it looks like a black lightsaber that's a little low on batteries. And you'll find her driving the squad car over here. Next is this guy, wearing the same uniform. And there's what he looks like. And you'll see him driving the van. And next is this guy, who looks a lot older than the two of them. And you'll see him riding the bicycle, which is a little strange because this guy looks like he has more seniority. You would think that he gets the car, but nope. Here is the police dog. I'll keep him caged up. And next is our first robber, who is missing a tooth. Alright, and there we go. Details on the back. And here is his partner in crime, who looks like he's more handsome, but I'll bet he's missing teeth too. That's why he's not smiling with his teeth showing. See? And no details on the back. And finally, we have the guy in charge. I'm guessing he's the guy in charge, not because of his uniform, but because he doesn't look very happy. Usually people in charge aren't very happy, so there we go. So he's either the detective, the inspector, or the chief. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. But anyway, let's take a look at the vehicles. First, we'll take a look at the police car, because it is pretty neat. And as I show you this thing all around, you'll probably notice I did something different this time around. And that is, I added stickers. Ooh, and you might be wondering why. Well, I figure it's time to announce that I have decided to enter the LEGO Superheroes contest. So I have a stop motion video in the making, and you'll see this in the video, along with the van. And I'll tell you more as time goes by. Hopefully it'll be done within a month. But anyway, this thing is pretty neat. And there's actually a lot of stickers on this thing, and I forgot what a pain in the butt it was to put them on. Especially if you want to put it on straight, which is what I did over there. See? But anyway, this roof can be lifted off. It's only attached by these 2 studs over here, and that's where you can put the driver inside. You notice that there's no seatbelt, so if she crashes into anything, she'll definitely fly out through the roof and not through the windshield because it's so loose over there. And in the back here, there's really nothing in there, but you can lift this part off. It's attached by those 2 studs, and you can probably store her flashlight in there, and maybe a pair of handcuffs. Alright, and there we go. Okay, let's take a look at the van. Here's the police van, and as you can see, it's pretty cool looking too, although I do wish it was a little bit bigger. Here it is from the side, and that's a sticker that you see there. And we have opening doors on the sides here. It's kind of strange that the car doesn't have that, but I guess it's okay. Here it is from the top, another sticker. There's the front. There's the bottom, not much. And here is the back, and we have another sticker right there. And to put the driver inside, you just lift this off. It's only attached by those 4 studs over there. And there we go. Close that up. And this back part can open up as well, and that's where you can store your walkie-talkie if you want. See? Or you can use it to transport the robber after you caught him. And just throw him in there like a dirtbag that he is, and there we go. Pretty cool, right? Just make sure that he's either knocked out or handcuffed, because there is a hole there, so he might strangle the driver. But I guess you're fine as long as you do those things, okay? And there we go. Let's take a look at the police station. For starters, I figured I would show you what this thing looks like all around, because it's really awesome. It's arguably one of the biggest police stations that they have made so far. And here's the front, of course. And we have some railings here, 2 signposts, a lamppost, and a bush. There's a door, and there's a prison door over there. And over here we have an area that holds some of the accessories, such as the handcuffs, stuff like that. And then up here we have 2 lamps, and we have a little camera over here and a radar dish. So that's pretty nice. And then on this side here is the side of the administration building, and we have some small playable areas. More on that later. And while we're up here, you'll see that there's a helicopter pad. And just note that there is no helicopter in this set, but it's okay. There are 2 other sets with helicopters in there, and just a small one can fit up here. The big one, not so much. We have an antenna, no lamppost. And here's the back side. A lot of playable areas here. This guy just fell off his toilet. We'll just put him back over there. Okay. If you notice, there was a staircase that leads to the 2nd floor, but there's none that leads to the 3rd floor, which is a little strange, but I guess it's okay. Not too bad. Over here we have 2 lamps. And this is a playable area for the garage down here, and that's the prison. And over here on this side we have a tab that you can pull, and that will open up the prison doors, and we'll stop right here. This way it won't slide out all the way. And I'll show you that as well, because it looks better from the front. And there we have it. So we'll take a look at the playable features over here. Starting with the garage doors, they can both open up pretty easily. And as you can see, both vehicles can go through with no problem. So that's pretty nice. And then you can close that up just like that. And then next, to show you the prison doors opening, all you have to do is pull the tab over here that I mentioned earlier, and both doors can open up at the same time. How cool is that? I think that's really neat. So there we go. Those are all the playable features on the front. And now, let's take a closer look at the prison cells over here. Now, taking a closer look, you'll see that we have 2 beds and 2 toilets. And underneath those 2 beds are crowbars. That's how they can escape. See? And there we have it. And then from there, they can use that to pry open the toilet seat, and that can swing back just like that. It's only hinged up here. Okay? And then from there, you can slide down this pole and then off to the free world. And then on this side, you can do the same thing. You can pull that up and go down this pole, but you'll still end up in the police station. So not very fortunate for that robber over there. And then while I'm here, I figured I also want to point out that when you put the robbers to sleep over here, you want to make sure that their feet is up to the last stud, because if you don't, you might end up banging their heads while you're trying to open the door. See that? So that doesn't feel very good. So just want to point that out. And then what's really cool is that right in between them, we got a set of bars that separates the cells. That's really neat. It's also very handy too, because I heard stories of what happens in the prisons, you know. So that's probably a good thing for both of them, or one of them, depends on how you look at it. Although what's really comical about this is that they have you put these stickers over here inside the prisons, which is pretty funny. You see them counting the days that they've been in there, and then they also draw houses, trees, people, cat, and cars, which is not something I would have expected. I always thought they would draw graffiti, write profanity, or for a good time, visit cell number 2, stuff like that. But I'm glad to be proven wrong. And then anyway, let's take a look at the administration side of the building. We'll take a look at the 1st floor first. And over here we have a dog pen. If I didn't know any better, this dog is also in prison too. This door can open up, and as you can see, there's a dish here with a bone in there, and this can close back up. And now, over on this side, we have the senior man over there. He's watching a big screen TV, and no, he's not watching the game. Instead, he's taking a closer look at this sticker over here, and that's what you can see that's going on in the city. I'm just trying to get this to focus. Come on, baby. There we go. See? Pretty cool. And now, going to the 2nd floor, I thought this part was really cool. This is where they take the mugshots. And you get to put this sticker over there by the wall, alright, which is basically a measurement of how tall they are. I always thought minifigures were about 4.5 to 5 bricks tall, but it looks like they can go up to 6. So we have some pretty tall robbers here. And over here we have, looks like a lamp, and there's a camera right next to it. Over here is the key to open up the prison. You get 2 keys altogether in this set, so in case you lose one, you still have a spare. This way no one's a permanent resident here. And then on the 3rd floor, we have the young lady counting the money and checking out the evidence for fingerprints. I'm surprised that this set didn't come with a magnifying glass. It would have made a lot of sense considering this is where they do all the investigating, but oh well. And then on this side we have a coffee machine and a water fountain, so that's pretty nice. This cup always falls out a lot because it's not really attached to anything, so every time you move the building it's most likely to come out anyway. And then here is the side of the admin building. There's really nothing on the 1st floor, but on the 2nd floor you have a young man on the computer. He's either checking out his Facebook page, either playing World of Warcraft or StarCraft 2. Usually nothing productive. And then on the 3rd floor, we have a desk here where they take a closer look at a lot of the clues and evidence. And you get to put these stickers over there. This we can see what was on the desk. You usually put this sticker and that sticker right there. And there we have it. Now let's take a look at the recommendations. Overall, I say that this is a really good set. Now, starting to value, it's kind of borderline because it is about 12.7 cents a piece, which is borderline for me, especially for a city set, because you get 783 pieces for about $100. It could have been a little bit better, but then again, the playable features on this thing really makes up for it, because you're talking about like a start to finish process when it comes to catching a robber, and you have to go chase him, bring him back, put him in jail, check out the evidence, check out the clues, take a mugshot. There's so much to do here. It really feels like a complete set because you literally have everything that you can do at a police station. The only thing you could use maybe is like a helicopter, because you do have the helicopter pad, but no helicopter. How can you do that? It's a little bizarre. But you can get one for like $10, so not too bad really. And the only thing I don't like about it is that you do get a lot of stickers, especially for the windows. You get like 11 stickers, and if you put one just a little bit off, it's going to look weird because those are supposed to look straight, and as you can imagine, it's going to be a real pain in the butt to do that. Or you can just be like me and just don't put them on there anyway. It still looks pretty cool. And that's it. I think in the end you will really like this set, and it's definitely a worthwhile one to get because it is arguably one of the biggest police stations that they have made so far, and a complete one too. And that's it. That sums up my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.